Have you ever stopped to think about what really keeps your digital assets safe? Well, today we're doing something pretty cool. We're going to peek inside a developer's actual work log to see how they built a much stronger, much safer way to recover a crypto wallet. Let's jump right in.
So let's start with a kind of scary question. You trust a company with your digital wallet, right? But what happens if that company goes bankrupt or gets bought out or just, poof, vanishes overnight? Is all your money just gone forever? This is the exact high-stakes problem a developer at Nuri decided to tackle head-on.
You see, the whole issue boils down to what we can call the digital lockout problem. When the only key to your funds is held or controlled by a single company, you're putting all your trust in them. Their survival, their security, their honesty. It's a massive single point of failure.
Think of it like this, okay? A single key system is like the key card the management of your apartment building gives you. If that company goes under, guess what? That key card is now a useless piece of plastic. But a dual key system, well, that gives you a second key, an old-school, physical, metal key that you've hidden under a rock that only you know about. That key is domain independent. It doesn't matter what happens to the building's management, your key still works.
And that, right there, was the developer's mission, to create that second, totally independent key. The whole point was to build a fail-safe where you, the user, hold the ultimate backup, completely separate from the company itself.
So, how in the world do you create a key that's completely disconnected from any online service? I mean, you can't just ask a server to make one for you, right? That would defeat the whole purpose. The solution they came up with is actually really clever and, believe it or not, surprisingly simple.
The secret sauce is something called a local host progressive web app, or PWA. Now that sounds complicated, but it's not. Just imagine a tiny, self-contained website that runs only on your own computer. It never, ever connects to the internet. This creates a secure, offline bubble, like a sterile clean room, perfect for generating a secret key.
And for you, the user, the whole process is designed to be super straightforward. Based on the developer's own notes, you just run a simple command, open a special web address that only works on your machine, and then you create and copy your brand new, totally offline key.
And this right here, this is the magic spell, pulled straight from the developer's code. It might look a little technical, but all it's really doing is telling your computer, hey, start up that mini offline website for me. It's one line of code that kicks off the entire process of creating your own personal financial escape hatch. It's just elegant.
Okay, so we've got our second key. Now what? The next massive step was actually integrating it into the wallet. You have to build the lock, so to speak, that can accept both the company's key and your new personal fail-safe key.
The first move was brilliant because it was so simple. Before you write any complicated code, you need a button. So the developer added this dual key encryption card right into the app's interface. And the description is perfect. Add a local host key for domain-independent recovery. It tells you exactly what it is, and more importantly, why you should care. Right, so with the button in place, it was time to build the engine. This function, encrypt with multiple keys, is basically the heart of the whole operation. What it does is take your wallet's secret information and encrypts it so that either your main passkey or your new localhost key can unlock it. That's the critical part. You now have two completely independent ways to get to your funds.
Now this all sounds fantastic in theory. But look, in the world of security and crypto, theory means absolutely nothing if you can't prove it. So the final, and I mean the most important step, was the ultimate stress test, proving this whole system works when it's completely cut off from the internet.
This really is the moment of truth, isn't it? Can you actually take your encrypted backup, grab your localhost key, pull the plug on your internet, and still get your assets back? If the answer is yes, the mission is a huge success. If it's no, well, then the whole thing is kind of pointless.
To find out for sure, the developer added one last little feature, a dedicated test button. And this wasn't just for them to debug things. This was for you, the user, to give you absolute rock-solid confidence that your offline failsafe is real and it actually works. And here it is, the payoff. After all that work, this is the success message that popped up in the developer's log. That little green check mark and those two beautiful words, domain independent, they confirm everything. The system works. The user is finally, truly in control. Okay, so we've followed this developer's journey through lines of code, through logic, through testing, but let's zoom out for a second. What does this whole technical adventure actually mean for the rest of us and how we handle our digital lives?
The power of a system like this really boils down to a few huge things. First, it gives you true ownership. Your access no longer depends on some company staying in business. Second, it's a shield against platform risk. If their service goes down, you are not locked out in the cold. And finally, it gives you this incredible offline peace of mind, just knowing you have a real tangible way to recover your stuff that nobody can ever take away from you.
And that really leaves us with one final big thought. We've seen how this works for a crypto wallet, but what about everything else? Your email, your cloud storage, your social media accounts? As more and more of our lives go digital, shouldn't we start demanding a real, domain-independent failsafe for all the accounts that truly matter to us?